It was December the 25th in the winter of my 52nd year. My life had been one of overwhelming solitude, living on the fringes of their society by the plain fact that I was simply not like them. That was until recently, when one of them and I became casually acquainted. My first friendship, I suppose. They had invited me to one of their holiday gatherings. It was the first social event that I was ever to attend. Upon entering, I was immediately struck by a beauty I have never before seen, so much so that I forgot my nerves. However, my nerves quickly returned when I realized I also forgot my manners. They looked at me with understandable curiosity. Why was this human here? I could feel them thinking. I tried my best to hide my anxiety and lack of confidence. My facade must have worked because they warmly invited me into their mix and offered me a seat, as well as a drink. Although I was unfamiliar with the proper behavior for such a gathering, I couldn't help but enjoy the splendidness all around me. I took extra care to enjoy the ceremonial tree. Its lights and colors flooded my senses with splendor. Under it were packages beautifully prepared and presented. The food was delicious and plentiful with flavors beyond description. After I had my fill, they insisted I indulge more. I dared not let on that I was full, so as not to offend. After a while, I had forgotten my anxieties, and I was able to fool myself into believing I was one of them. For the first time, I felt the love of family and the community of friendship. I savored each moment, not because I knew it would end, but because it was so rich, and to savor it was unavoidable. Up until that night, I never knew this was the life I so badly wanted. For that brief moment, I was home. So after some time, our gracious host began to dispense the wrapped packages. However strange this custom seemed at first, I saw the joy it brought the participants, and its significance became clear to me. A gift was a symbol, an offering of love. My soul soared at the gift's beauty. My nerves tickled with anticipation as it was unwrapped. And my heart warmed when its contents revealed. I so greatly enjoyed observing this that I cared not in the least that none of the gifts were for me. Then, something changed. They all looked at me with intention I could not place. Had I done something wrong? Had I overstayed my welcome? Had I offended them with my mere presence? Presence? Was I to bring an offering so gracious as to allow me into their beautiful home and wonderful lives, and I return their kindness with selfishness? Of course they would take offense. Of course I do not belong here. It took all my strength to deny my instinct, to run, get out of there before you offend them even more. You old fool, you fake, you don't belong here. Run away, run. A gift for me. The feelings I was experiencing were ones I never thought possible, brought on to me by overwhelming kindness so pure it hurt, but so greatly warmed my weathered soul. But I could not bring myself to open such a package, not only due to its beauty, but out of fear that its contents would never surpass the experience of receiving it. This I explained to my host, a sentiment they understood and even cherished. And so the present remains unopened and will so for the rest of my days, containing forever within the experience of that night and the receiving of a gift.